Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast, the things we did not get to during the course of the show today. Gavin is back. He was out yesterday. So let's get into this. I gave you the heads up on this. There's a story that I'm like...
You prepped us. You don't often prep us in a way that says, hey, you guys... Hopefully you don't like this story as much as I don't.
Yeah, I think I've calmed down. But I just think that for most Americans, this would be infuriating. So lawyers representing migrants... that have come to the company illegally. You have lawyers here that are representing them, and they are representing 50 of the migrants that were flown to Martha's Vineyard nearly 2 years ago. Remember when Ron DeSantis, they came to Florida, and the border towns in Florida, places like that, have tired of the Democratic crazy woke, don't worry about the border. It's everybody else's problem but ours, government that we have. And so DeSantis was like, I'm going to make a point. I'm going to take and fly a group of these illegals to Martha's Vineyard, where all the rich Democrats and Republicans, but where the rich politicians live. And so he put them right on their doorstep. And they didn't like that because they didn't have the wherewithal to take care of them because it was always somebody else's problem. It was a great political statement. Mm-hmm. And so now, though, 50 Venezuelans are being represented by a company or by a law firm here, and they are suing the air company that flew them to Martha's Vineyard. And they're suing Ron DeSantis.
Okay, I get suing Ron DeSantis.
Yeah, but they're suing the company that actually flew them. Yeah, the airplane company. Because they say that they basically, what did they say? That they had a right to be here, and they were, I'm looking for it. They did not have a right to be here because they were illegal. And that they were told that they would have jobs and this, that, and the other, and that was not met. And it's like, well, no, you are here illegally. You are forgetting this. You should not have been here in the first place. You came here illegally. And so, yes, it's bad that people got caught up as a political gambit.
Yeah.
Because that's true. They were pawns. It was a story. It was a sensational story.
Used as a tool.
But here's the irony. So you have 50 people that are illegal. They could sue for hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, and they could actually win American money from an American company that was doing what they were told by their government to do, and these people could make money, and they could either end up staying here or take that money out of the country. It is lunacy. Absolute abject lunacy that we are living in this world today with these morons that continue to pull this kind of crap. And you know who's doing it? You know who's going to get rich? These illegals are not going to see hardly any of that money. If they win, let's say they win. Let's say some woke judge or jury lets this happen out of some craziness. Let's say they win some money. Let's say they each win $100,000. That is a tip of the iceberg of what the lawyers are getting. The lawyers are going to get a grip of cash, and they're going to fill their pockets, and then still the people that we're helping you, are still going to get shafted, but they'll still be the hero because we got you money, and all you had to do was come to America. Yay. It is crazy. And it's stories like this that go, this country is definitely on a downward spiral. Something radical needs to stop this nonsense and add common sense back into our country. And I really go back and forth on, like, there's part of me that just wants to drop out. I want to go to some small city where I don't have to talk to anybody. I don't have to live with any of these big decisions and any of these morons doing things, because I'll just sit in my own little place.
Montana.
Exactly. My own, ranch, and then you come on my property, we got an issue. Like, if you're not invited, then I don't want anything to do with you.
You been watching Yellowstone?
Absolutely. And so, like, I'm torn between that, because that doesn't change anything, or being part of the narrative and saying enough is enough. Mm-hmm. Somebody has to, at some point in time, say enough is enough. I mean, that's kind of what happened in the election that put Biden in the place to destroy our country, is that I think a lot of Republicans were like, oh, we got this. We're good. He's an old man. He'll never win. And then all of a sudden, what happened? Enough Republicans didn't show up, and then we lost.
That was the surprise with, I think, Trump becoming president, was that they, at least...
Democrats thought they had
it because... I don't think a lot of Republicans who came out of the weeds to vote for Trump were on social media or on big news stations saying, "Yeah, we're going to obviously vote for this guy."
I have a question.
Go.
I have a question.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Welcome to the puzzle
Okay, so
Sorry.
Gavin got us Easter baskets, and one of these things was like a pop game. Betty's been playing this thing for like the
addicted.
last hour. I can't even focus on the
I'm
studio.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean
have to
push
put
that
headphones
button.
on when I'm playing things back.
I said I'm sorry.
But are you though? Like,
No.
She's not.
Okay, my question is, you're so against it.
Yes.
So help me understand the people that are so for it. How, like, if they heard that same story,
Yes.
the people that are
Why would they think this is a good thing?
Can you argue the
because
other side?
human rights. Because they're like, oh my gosh, these are human people, and they came here and they just need help, and it's that bleeding heart liberalism. But they came here illegally. I can't just go to another country and live where I want to live. It's not right. If I go through the legal channels, absolutely. I understand these people are coming from a bad situation, and this seems like the great place. And so on the surface of, we just need to help people, that's great, but it doesn't work out in reality. You cannot just have open borders. You have to have a process by which people come in. I mean, the taxing of our system, people that actually are honest, good, hardworking people pay for everybody else that doesn't do anything in this country. And that is a crime, and that is wrong. And so what they're saying, though, is like, look, these people didn't have any choice in this. Well, they did. They came here, and they came here illegally. They did have a choice. And so now they're caught up in the political ramifications of it, and that's sad. But I mean, at the end of the day, they got to go see a really nice place in Martha's Vineyard instead of being in a hellhole in New York. Like, New York is horrible. Like, the situation in New York for the migrants is horrible. Being stuck on the border town is horrible. Like, they could have been in a worse place too. It wasn't like they took these people and they sent them to some desert island where they were going to starve to death, either. So I mean, you have to have common sense, and I think that that's the biggest problem with wokeism, and it's the biggest problem with our country today, is that common sense is gone. And now we legislate everything, and people look at the letter of the law versus the spirit of the law, and you can't interject anything inside of this that makes reasonable, logical sense. And that's what drives people like me absolutely insane, is because I look at, the spirit of the law. What are you trying to accomplish? And, and I look at things that make no sense, but you're doing this because you want the optics to look a certain way. I have no tolerance for that, and I have a zero tolerance policy for that.
I get why you're frustrated.
It's
that
crazy.
Totally makes sense. Because, and I have to put it with another, like, outlook. I would try and think,
Because you're a 9.
as a teacher. Let's say the government or the U.S. is the teacher, okay? And you have students. Well, you have some students that don't want to be in the first grade. They want to come to the second grade. So
Right.
they're just going to come in and,
Just go to the second grade.
and just cause chaos because
Right.
they're too young to know what the second grade. And the second graders that are supposed to be there, that are supposed to be learning, well, now the first graders are kind of keeping them, kind of like with my game. They're kind of keeping you from concentrating because they're so first grader-ish. Is any of this making sense?
I see where you're going.
So the second graders
There's
can't
a
grow.
process, right.
They can't grow because the first graders are keeping them busy.
There's a process for a reason, because if
yeah,
you don't
like
have
we
the process,
need to have
the
a
anarchy.
process so that things don't go haywire, and they are going haywire.
I do love that DeSantis, his administration, doubled down, and they said, as we've already stated, the flights were conducted lawfully and authorized by the Florida legislature. And we look forward to Florida's next illegal immigrant relocation flight, and we are glad to bring national attention to the crisis at the southern border. I love that. That's a very Trump move on DeSantis, like going, hey, that's great. We'll do it again, and we'll do it again, and we'll do it again, and we'll do it again.
Well, yeah. I mean, I get why he's frustrated, too, because it's like the state of Florida is having to deal with all of the
Right.
decisions that the higher up states are making. It's not fair. But, two, how did they get these 50 people up on the plane? Like, they could have said no, right?
No, well, when you come here, it's like I've watched so many shows on like passport, like when people get their bag searched, and the first thing they do is they take their passport from them, and you can't go, and you're trapped in this room. Like, when you come here illegally, you don't know the language, you are at the mercy of whoever is the controlling governing factor. Go here, sit here, stay here, don't go here, do this. You have no rights, no anything at that time. And so you have to go along. And so when they say get on this plane, you go, okay, I'm in America. And so I don't fault them for just being where they were told to go. Like they were just pawns inside of this.
So are the lawyers just seeing these 50 as a opportunity to earn more money? Is that what it is?
You could say that they're trying to make a social statement, about this, and it's possible that they are. I think it's a money grab personally, but I can't judge motivation. Like, I don't know this law firm, and maybe they do a lot of pro bono work or they do a lot of work on behalf of the marginalized. I don't know. So that's something I can't judge. The only thing that I can put this to, when you talk about when you go somewhere and you lose control. The funny thing is, there's a ride at Hollywood Studios in the Star Wars land called The Rise of the Resistance. And so basically, the storyline is you get captured and you are transported to the Death Star. And it's just like in the movie, like you go through these doors and all of a sudden there's this giant hangar you're in and you see just this legion of stormtroopers there. It was honestly and I know you're in a ride and it's fun and everything like that, but they're yelling at you, move over here, go over here. It's very un-Disney because they're doing the Star Wars thing. And you get transported out of the fun of what you were just in to, this is weird. But it made me think, and crazy thing, I remember thinking of like Nazi Germany and like how people were just forced to go to things that were horrific for them and they had no choice. And it's like, and so I understood in a moment, like I don't understand them. I'm not saying that I understood their plight, but I'm saying I understood how, because I always thought, well, why didn't people fight back? And why didn't people, but when you're in this situation, you're outnumbered and outgunned and you just are like forced into these things. You're just hoping on the kindness of people that maybe it won't be as bad as you think.
Right.
And it's the same thing with people coming to the States. It's like they're just hoping on the kindness of people that maybe they'll get something that they have dreamed of when they get here, And unfortunately, that's just not the case. I mean, Trump has said if he gets into office, it will be the largest deportation in history. And that, again, makes other people get really upset and mad. And this is horrible. I'm not one of those people. I go, okay, let's start over. Let's undo what was done.
Those people would say that's horrible because
of the humanitarian part of it.
They see these people and they feel sorry for them.
Correct.
I see.
Yeah,
okay.
and I do understand that. The problem is you have to balance policy with humanity, and that's not always easy to do. And I don't think any side has done it well yet. Is there a balance between deportation of people and still having humanity? Yeah, probably yes. But are good people going to get caught up and have families fractured and things get caught up in a system that is not going to be good for them individually? Absolutely. There's no way to do it without that happening. And so that is the price of doing something illegal. You started the process and now you're reaping the ramifications of it. I mean, the Bible even talks about that kind of stuff. It's like you can do whatever you want to do. You have free will, but there are consequences for your actions that you may not like. And so you took a chance, but different regime, it's not going to go well for you, And so, I mean, that's humanitarian part of it. It's hard because you don't want to sound like you don't care about people, but at some point in time, you have to have protections in place, and we've not done that in this last 4 years. We've made it worse. So anyway, that is that. Are you guys going to play the Powerball now that it's up to $1 billion, they say?
$1 billion.
My wife keeps going, are you going to get a ticket? And I keep saying, God is never going to let me win the lottery.
He won't.
He won't. There's no way, because I would do some really great things with it, but then I would also do some bad things with it. Like,
that is maybe not the right
I would
word.
buy K-Love and shut it down. Yeah, that's not a great thing to do.
But you just leave room for something
Which is
better
why he won't let you win.
Exactly. See, that's why God will never let me win the lottery. And so, so I tell my wife, like, if you want to buy it, maybe we can trick him and you buy the ticket.
Wow.
So I'm never winning the lottery. But do you ever, when it gets that big, do you ever like think of, you dream a little, like you get that lottery drunk?
I've never thought about trying the lottery.
Yeah.
Really?
It's not a realistic
I never grew up with even
me neither.
thinking about it.
But when the odds are only 1 in 292.2 million of winning, so that's
Seems
pretty good
high.
odds.
Pretty good odds.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Could be worse.
Yeah. I guess they've gone 39 drawings without a jackpot winner And so the next drawing is tomorrow night. So
You don't want me to play because I will not be here.
I know. You would
I'm
win and be gone.
out.
And she wouldn't give us anything.
Oh,
I would
no.
set you guys up so neither of you had to work again.
No.
Like, I would instantly do that. That'd be one of the first things I did was make sure that you guys never had to work again. But Betty Rock
You know
would
what
be
I
like,
would
goodbye.
do, though? What I would do, I would
$1
leave.
on our desk?
No,
Yes.
no. I would leave some money for Bennett. Okay,
Yeah.
for college fund.
nice.
Yeah. Well, I would have to make the statement that Bennett could not go in for a theatrical degree or a
Gotta
be-
Mm.
movie
gotta be a
or
real-
it's got to be
Hey.
a real thing.
I'm here.
And then I would also leave $1 million
To Hayden?
for Hayden because I believe in the cause of the hermit crab
That's
business. Hermit crabs can't save themselves.
That's right.
We must stand
Someone's
with
gotta do it.
Hayden and his hermits.
Someone's got to do it. Sounds like an old
Stand
band.
with Hayden.
Now-
Nice.
Stand with Hayden.
In the that's a good title for that.
You actually chanted better than the Waffle House employees that want $25 an hour as a Waffle House employee. They went
is
on
wrong
strike.
with
They
them?
delivered their thing, and they could not even get it together to do a chant together at the same time. They kind of all started at different times, and they were saying different things. And you're like, I'm not giving you $25 an hour till you guys can get a chant right. You get a chant right, maybe we'll talk. Maybe we'll settle in at around 18. Anyway.
Do you, because in the past we've had the discussion about winning the lottery and how you have said you wouldn't want to win the lottery because of the amount of money they would take away from you.
Yes, it
at
bothers
the
me.
beginning.
Yes.
Does it bother you enough to not to still
Yes.
not win 500 million?
Yeah, that's what the cash out drawing would be, about 483 million, and then taxes.
Okay,
so then that cuts it in half again.
Which
So
is
then,
again,
and then he would say that's not worth his time.
Okay,
the
so
$200 million.
if you think about it,
is not
yes.
worth
If you
his
think
time.
about it, $200 million. Okay, you got $200 million. I would never want to fly commercial again. I would obviously want to fly private. Well, I looked into that. I came up on my TikTok, a guy buying
I love this
the
guy.
private jet.
There's the guy
salesman.
who's always he's classy.
He's like, how much you want to spend? About $90 million. Okay, so let's say you spend $90 million. You have carry costs every year of about $2.2 million on that jet.
goodness.
Yeah, and so now
So
you're
it's only at 11.1 million.
$92 million, and so now that's almost half of your $200 million. You know, on just one purchase. Let's say I bought two because I want his and hers. Now I'm almost out of money.
You're broke.
Now I don't even have enough to tithe on.
Was it worth it? Was it worth it?
Man who won the
It was
lottery.
not worth.
Exactly. It's not worth the headaches.
Yeah.
And as somebody who has paid taxes and not gotten a refund for the last few years, I don't want to give the government a dime more. A dime more.
So to stick it to the man, you're just not going to win the
Just
money.
not going to win the lottery. Take that, government. You're not getting money from me.
You showed them.
I did. I have principles, Rock.
Yeah.
God.
Now,
All
if you
right.
didn't go down the route of two private jets,
Yeah. Well, it's still, but it'd be something else. It'd be like a battleship or something. All right,
Okay.
Lady Rock, what do you got?
Do you want to do mine? Remember, mine is a little bit on the sad side.
Is it? Oh, because I'm in a good mood right now. You want to do birthdays and a question?
Sure.
Okay, I love it.
Okay. We have got a question. Well, I don't have any birthdays.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
But I do have a question. Abigail, I guess her mom's birthday, we celebrated it, but her question is, what would you get your mom for her birthday?
My mom, we always do gift cards for like craft stores that she loves because she never wants to spend the money on that kind of stuff, but she loves it. It's like her whole house is a craft house. And so like we always try to like give her that, and then restaurants that she likes to go to and things like that.
What craft is she working on currently?
Do you name it? Like it's usually gnome related. Like,
Really?
Yeah, she loves making
likes
gnomes.
gnomes.
to build off of that,
She must love Gavin.
I would
Yeah.
get. Stop it. I would get my mom something gnome related.
Yeah,
as well,
really?
'cause she is just she's a gnome / turtle lover.
Oh, interesting.
Those are her favorite, like artistic and fun things
Yeah.
that
Must
you
really love you.
can see around. Stop it!
That's so cute.
I'm not a gnome.
I told
I'm a
Betty
big gnome.
because Betty Rock's birthday is coming up the 5th
Yeah,
of
we're getting
May.
close.
Yeah,
And
25.
I
That's
told
right,
her I
every
got
year.
her a present the other day. I saw it, and I like, I told Marty, I said, you have to take a picture of it because it was the thing with a caption. And I'm like, oh wait, we could just get it for. I think Marty was like, you want to just get it for her birthday? I'm like, absolutely. And I'm so excited about this. Again, it's a nothing present, but the caption is fantastic, and it's perfect for you. And so I'm excited about that. And I don't know why I started about that. Oh, because of things you like. Because you're very simple to buy for.
Thank you.
You're pretty easy to buy for.
we were talking about gnomes. It's interesting that you say all that. Your mom's like gnomes. My dad was saying the other day how years ago, back in the 90s, he saw this gnome that you could record your voice into it, and it would play it back, but it would be in high pitch. And he's regretted not getting it to this
really?
day.
Yeah, see?
That
How
was
long
my
ago?
dad. And back in the 90s.
And he still talks about it.
You need to find that for him.
That's what I'm thinking, because he's hard to buy for.
Yes,
There's
that's a
so
great
much that
idea for a
There's
gift.
so much that he loves, but it's all expensive.
Have you ever
because
looked up-
men like expensive things. And
Yeah.
so,
We like toys and things like that and things that we didn't get as kids. But like if you ever find something like that that's like a throwback to something that he couldn't find or wouldn't buy for himself, that's 100% a
sure.
great gift.
For my mom, she loves birds.
Mm-hmm.
She loves crafts too.
Yeah.
But she's not really into it right now.
She
goes
was
in
for a while. She had a
phases.
little store too.
Yeah, she goes in phases. So I think I would get her something. She's really into Cheetos.
Really?
Yeah, and she
You
loves,
should buy the Cheetos that looks like Jesus. Because I know
What?
there's got to be
There
one
was
out there.
I showed it to you on Facebook Marketplace, the pet Cheeto.
Yeah, that was
$20.
weird.
Yeah, you should get her
I
that.
posted that. No.
Yes, that would be
No.
great.
She likes to eat them.
Okay.
And anything bird related.
You did say that.
Yeah.
What
just
if you got her
anything
some like
bird-related.
Cheeto shaped birds or bird shaped Cheetos?
Totally. If they sold that, I'd get them. But her doctor has told her that she needs to kind of lay off the Cheetos.
There's no way.
Not for a weight situation, but for a sodium, blood
Cholesterol.
pressure, cholesterol thing.
Yeah, because your mom's little like you.
Yeah, she's itty bitty.
Yeah. Well, there you go. All right. Well, I think that is going to do it. And on a positive note for our Aftercast today.
I think it's better.
Yeah, I think so good.
It's
There's a little bit
better
of
than the story
ranting
that I
today.
had. Yeah.
Yeah.
the story
Okay,
I
we'll do
had
that
was sad.
tomorrow.
No, it was sad.
What was it again?
About the Law and Order lady and the Instacart guy.
Oh, that shot her dog. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, thanks for being a potty.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.